Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to our Shabbat service. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. I'm Rabbi Barry Silver. This is Cantor Garrett. Even though she has a mask, her beautiful music can never be quarantined. It cannot be masked. We are thrilled to be here with you this evening. We are embarking on a new experiment. It's called Cosmic Judaism. It brings together the revelations of Judaism science, transcends the tribal, and brings us together and unites us with all people, all living things, and the entire cosmos. Anybody here ever hear of Chabad? Well, when Chabad first started, it was considered heresy. It was condemned as some newfangled nonsense, and it was persecuted, and they went from here to there, and wherever they went, they were hounded as not really being Jewish. Anybody ever hear of Reform Judaism? Oh my goodness, that was condemned as the worst heresy. You're speaking English in a synagogue, and you have organ music, and you even treat women as if they're equal. This is terrible. It was a bitter controversy. It is considered not Jewish. You ever hear of Reconstructionist Judaism? Yeah. Oh man, that was really condemned. Wherever he went, Mordecai Kaplan, he was considered a heretic, a renegade. They thought he was crazy, and they tried to stamp him out. Wherever he went, he was persecuted. Every great idea, every new idea, every idea that gains a foothold in society goes through three phases. First, it's ridiculed, and it's vigorously fought against, and then it's accepted as common fact. You are seeing a type of Judaism, cosmic Judaism, that sometimes is ridiculed. Cosmic, what does that mean? Some kind of space-age, weird stuff. It's also been persecuted. Wherever we go with this, there are people who seek to drive us away, because what we do is a threat. What is the threat? We actually encourage people to use their rational mind and apply it to Judaism. We're not humanists. We don't consider the Torah just to be another book, and we don't consider religion just to be sterile like a college lecture. We are similar, very similar to Reconstructionists, very similar to Reform. But what we do that's different is we apply science rigorously. Why? The science is the best way to discover the truth. Jews care about emet, tzedek, truth and righteousness. You want truth? Nothing beats science. So we combine the two great revelations, and we're thrilled to be doing that right here. And wherever we go, wherever we are, you are welcome to join with us and to participate in this new experiment, which we believe will be the Judaism of the future. You are presently right here in the Judaism of the future, or the Reform about tomorrow. We're going to begin this service with the L'Dor
Dodi, Likrakala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekabela, Dodi, Likrakala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekabela, Shemo B'riku, B'ribu, Yisheme'anu El Munechad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad L'Yisheme'el V'Hitila L'Chadodi L'Krakala B'nai Shabbat Nekabela L'Chadodi L'Krakala B'nai Shabbat Nekabela.
Pleasure to call up Cynthia Barkey in order to lead us in the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
There's a microphone right there for her.
I know.
It keeps you.
I've been lighting candles. I've been lighting candles, 7 candles, for many years. My husband and I are married now 66 years, and every Friday night and holiday, we always lit candles. And I was not Hasidic or I grew up in an Orthodox home, but I have a modern, what do you call it, modern,
You've recovered?
huh?
You've recovered since then?
Actually, I have an extremely religious son. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm gonna light the candles tonight as with my mother, my grandmother. And I'm sure thousands of Jewish women before me. I did a little study and asked the rabbi here a few weeks ago. I think we've been doing this for maybe 2,000 years. So I'm encouraging everyone who does not like candles to try it. It really makes you feel good. I'm asked to read this.
You don't, they do.
Lighting candle is a way of making time for the moment the candles are lit. Shabbat starts and we enter into sacred time right after the candles are lit. And before saying the blessing, we bring the light towards ourselves 3 times in a swooping motion above the flames. The action of bringing the light of the candles towards has been interpreted as welcoming Shabbat into our souls, or welcoming our ancestors into the space. I now light the Sabbath candles and thus begin Shabbat. Baruch Torah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivonu l'halekeh Shema Shabbat.
Amen.
Thank you, Cynthia, for the beautiful lighting of the candles, the great singing, the wonderful reading, and also you lit the candles with kavanah. Kavanah means intention, with feeling, with emotion. If some people go through the ritual, others go through the spiritual. And we appreciate you bringing the spirituality of your mom, your grandma, and all the past generations for about 3,000 years to us. And now we're going to have the Kiddush led for us by Murray Barry.
My wife did such a good job.
Cut back to follow. Next time I'll have you go first.
And I'm just lighting candles and then I see get on.
This way. There you go.
We make Kiddush on Shabbat to recognize the joyfulness of taking time to rest and to delight in the creation around us. But reminds us that whether we have had a successful week or one filled with frustration, we are still worthy of time to rest and feel joy. Shabbat does not judge us. It is an open invitation to invite more sweetness into our lives. We therefore raise this cup of sweet wine and begin the blessings over the all. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagofen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho b'ahava uvratzon, hinkelanu, zikra l'maaseh, v'reshit, ki yom tehila, l'mikrae kodesh, Zekel Yetziat mimitzrayim, kivanu v'achata, ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, be'ava uv'ratzon, Hinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Murray, you were a little nervous about following your wife, but she did such a great job, and you did as well. I really appreciate both of you participating in our Shabbat celebration. We're now going to begin some of the prayers for Shabbat. Some people might think, well, how do you do prayers in cosmic Judaism if you're science-based? How do you pray to the supernatural? People here are welcome to do so and to pray to the supernatural, or they can consider the natural to be super and give thanks for all the natural wonders of the world, for the creative power that uses everything, including us, and to give thanks that we have minds and hearts and spirit that allow us to take all that creative power within us and use it to make our lives better and to improve the world. That's an InspiRational way of approaching prayer as we do now. We read responsibly. Prayer is not an escape from duty. It is no substitute for the deed.
Prayer seeks the power to do wisely, to act generously, to live helpfully.
It helps to reinforce the act rather than to replace it.
Prayer is the search for silence amidst the noise of life. Prayer takes us beyond the self.
Joining our little self to the selfhood of humanity gives our wishes the freedom to grow large and broad and inclusive.
Our prayers are answered not when we are given what we ask, but when we are challenged to do what we can be, to be what we can be.
Roll into dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golelo mipnei choshech, golelo mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei yom. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
They once asked Albert Einstein, how did he come up with that theory of relativity? And he said, well, when I was a kid, I used to wonder, ask a lot of questions, and I kept asking them as an adult. But when I became an adult, I was able to answer the questions with an adult mind. And that's really what we do here at L'Dor Va-Dor, Cosmic Judaism, an inspirational approach. We haven't changed anything in Judaism. We continue to be inspired and thrilled by the world around us of our ancestors' work. We just respond to that sense of awe and wonder with an adult, science-based appreciation of it, which increases our sense of awe and wonder and also gives us a little glimpse into what reality is like that our ancestors never could have dreamed of. And so we continue with the Baruch Hu, which gives praise as our ancestors have for thousands of years for all the wonders around us. If you like, please stand.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vahed.
Now we give thanks. Please remain standing. We're about to do the Shema. We give thanks now for all the scientific laws and principles that allow every chemical, every proton and electron in our body to function properly, and the earth to go around the sun. This prayer here gives thanks for all the celestial wonders that keep Earth in its orbit and keep light shining upon us from the sun. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'amrim harabim, u'vayom v'layla v'or mipnei choshev, v'choshev mipnei or, ma'avir yom v'leila. U'navir ben yom u'ben layla. Adonai tzvaot shavot echad v'kayam, tamid yirbo v'aleinu l'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'amid v'arabim. Now the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Seated, the Shema gives thanks that everything around us is a unity, part of one cosmic union coming from a singularity. Our ancestors received that with the Shema, and they agreed at the time that all humanity would learn to live as one. They also agreed at the time when love would prevail, reflected in the Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We thank the Cantor for beautiful music, and I also want to thank Sharon Leibovitz and Suzanne Burstein for being here to help coordinate and run the show. And also want to thank Madison for doing a great job on the camera, which I think we finally mastered the video. So I thank all of them for their participation and help. And I thank you also for your attendance. We continue reading responsibly. We have worked faithfully during the week according to our strength.
Having contributed to the larger work of humanity, we will therefore enjoy the delight of Shabbat.
In this spirit, we would keep the day of rest for our good and the good of others.
May the blessings of Shabbat gladden our hearts and inspire us to holier resolves and purer motives.
Next is a rhetorical question. Who is like God? There's a simple answer to it. All of us can be God-like when we're kind, when we're loving, and when we maximize all the potential within us to make this world a better place. Me, who is like
Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei feleh. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Malchutecha Ra'uvenecha Bokeayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze Elianu Anu Ve'ameru Adonai Imlo Le'olam Va'ed. Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai.
So we do also thank Madison for bringing the average age, the median age down quite a bit by your presence here. And I also want to thank Jim for coming and being such a wonderful presence here. We're very, very fortunate if we have a spouse who supports what we do, spends their time with us, and considers what we do important. Can't ever minimize what a wonderful influence that is. I thank him also for being here. We're going to continue now with the Avot, the Imahot. Invite him. Please stand as we thanks and praise to our ancestors, our fathers and mothers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sovan, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanova, El Elyon. Omer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'Zofer Chasei Avot Imahot. ומביא גאולה לימי בניהם למען שלו בעבר. ואנחנו חוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ותורתו. אחת קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים וכל יום יעלו חסרה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Siéntanse por favor, תשבו בבקשה. We continue now with Let there be love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Sing with me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom, Vehabitenu, Shomrenu Lechaim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Spend a few moments in silent meditation. This part is now optional. You don't have to engage in this part, only if you have something to be thankful for. Should you engage in silent meditation? If there's nothing that you need to be thankful for, you don't have to participate. If your health isn't so good, give thanks that there are doctors and nurses who are trained and ready to help. If you're having some digestive issues and you can't eat certain foods, give thanks for all the foods that you can eat. If you have some no good scoundrels in your family who don't treat you well and who don't want anything to do with you, give thanks for all the ones who do treat you well and who you do have a loving relationship with. Maybe see what we can do to try to repair those relations as well. Silent meditation is an opportunity for us to count our blessings and consider all the things we have to be grateful for. So, I'm going to spend a few moments in silent meditation. We're going to read the names of those who are ailing these days. And on our list, we have Marcel Romberg, Bruce David, Harris Friedman, Laura Gallagher, Martha Hoffman, Carol Kahn, Howard Mandel, Melissa Sherman, Dr. Sue Mayer, Bernard Rosen, Stanley Rosenwasser, Fred Spielbaum, Howard Thomas Shaw, Naomi Bolden, Becky Boynton. Any other names that you'd like to add? Yes, sir. Thanks. Yes? Yes? Anybody else? Yes? Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
If you yourself want to stand for healing, this is for you. Mishabera avotenu mechor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishabera imotenu mechor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And we're going to now enter into our Torah service. To begin that, we have, if you would read the Torah.
If you would read the Torah, what a tale its words would tell about the old-time heroes in the land of Israel.
When the world grows dark, we provide a spark to help the world to see our shared humanity. And we know when things go wrong, we must stay strong and sing our song of harmony. If you would read the portents and the writing on the wall, we could begin to fathom the rise of mankind and its fall. When the Jews are cursed, it brings out the worst in our society
and leads to tyranny. But in those lands where Jews are blessed, it brings out the best and leads to liberty. Injustice here or injustice there is injustice everywhere, as taught by Dr. King. And if you read each sacred line, then you may find that love empowers everything, and love's power is so real. I always hope that I could feel this way, and I'm glad to say that I finally get it. Hate is wrong, so let's get along with a brand new song, and let's watch each other's back.
We continue now with responsive reading. And may we become more than we have been, more than we are.
Reaching for a perfection beyond our grasp, growing and learning one day to make this day's peace a peace for all days.
learning one day to do justly and love mercy.
And act humbly with kindness for all beings, creatures, and surroundings.
It's Hayim.
It's Chaim hi lemachzikim ba v'torah teyotecha meushat deracha darchei noam v'chon teyotecha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'shanu Chadesh Chadesh Amenu Chadesh Amenu Kekedem.
This is an amazing passage. It's called the Hanan. Within this passage, you find the 10 Commandments, the V'ahavta, and the Shema. But I'm not going to read any of those because you're probably familiar with the 10 Commandments, and you've probably heard the Shema and the V'ahavta. So I'm going to read a few words that precede in the Torah, the reading of the 10 Commandments.
The blessing before the Torah.
First, I will do the blessing. Thank you. Before the Torah. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. V'yikra Moshe el kol Yisrael v'yomer alehem. And Moses called the people of Israel and said to them, Shema Yisrael et hachukim ve'et hamishpatim asher anochi diber ba'oznechem. Come and listen to the statutes and the judgments that I am going to place into your ears. Hayom today, I will teach them and instruct them to you so that you may do them. God established a covenant with you at Horeb. There's a discrepancy in the Torah in that the 10 Commandments are viewed in one verse coming from Horeb, and another place they were given at Sinai. So the way the rabbis reconciled this, no problem. Horeb is just an alias for Sinai, it's both the same thing. Lo et avotenu kaved Adonai et habrit hazot, ki itanu anachnu ele po hayom kulanu hayim. And this is the important line that I want to read for you that precedes the giving of the 10 Commandments. He says, these words, these commandments they're not for your forefathers. They're for you, the ones, and you can probably translate this yourself. Today, kulanu, all of us, hayim. All of us, the living, the ones alive. This is for all of the people who are alive. The blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu tovat v'chayolam atah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. There was once a man who came and he went to work at the store where they were selling dresses and fabric, and a beautiful woman came up and said to him, I would like to buy some fabric for a dress. How much does it cost? And he smiled and he said, this fabric costs one kiss for every foot So she said, I will take 10 feet of fabric, please. That will be 10 kisses. She said, the bill will be paid by my grandfather. My friends, the bill for this, the dues for this, were paid by our grandparents and our great-grandparents and untold generations that we don't even know. If our great-great-great-grandfather were to walk in here, we would have no clue who he is, or our great-great-grandmother. We would not recognize them. But today we recognize the sacrifice, the devotion, the dedication of our grandparents, of our ancestors, who paid their dues, who are willing to put up with so much in order for us to receive this beautiful heritage. In this Torah passage, as I mentioned, we have the highest ideals of the Jewish faith. We have the Shema, called the watchword of the Jewish faith, the Ten Commandments, the moral code adopted by people of all traditions. And we also have the V'ahavta, indicating that we should have a feeling of love towards others. But the Torah passage says, I'm not sharing this just with your ancestors, I'm sharing it with you today, with the living. What that means, my friends, is that all of these passages, all of these documents, this teaching of ours, it's an Etz Hayim. It's a tree of life. It's growing. It's evolving. The Reconstructionist movement recognized that. It wasn't a breakaway. It was a continuation of the evolution of Judaism that started from the beginning, the Reform movement, which was castigated as somehow heretical. It was simply following the tradition of Judaism. Yes, non-traditional Judaism is traditional. Every aspect of what we do, a rabbi was unheard of in the Torah. A rabbi, a synagogue, that's a Greek word. They didn't go to a synagogue. A bar mitzvah, bar is Aramaic. If you wanted to say in Hebrew, you say a ben mitzvah. It was an innovation. A bat mitzvah. Everything we do in Judaism follows Jewish ideals of love, kindness, fraternity, a hope for the future, consideration of the rights of others, equality, but they're also using the rational mind to evolve, to achieve new heights, and to make a living. What does the Shema mean today? Shema means unity. It means that we should strive to be a one, not just with Jewish people, not just with humanity, not even with all the animal life and the plants, one with the earth. It's not just a moral imperative. It's a matter of survival. The V'ahavta, what does that mean? It means that we should love all people. We started out as Jews tribal. This nation has to be conquered. This one we can invade and destroy. We've grown. We don't do such things anymore. The Ten Commandments. They're not commandments, really. The first one is, I am the Lord your God. That's not a commandment, that's a statement. And it's not 10, there's more. It depends how you divvy them up. Where do the Ten Commandments come from? It bears a striking resemblance to the Hittite and to the Assyrian conduct and contracts and covenants between Lord and vassal. Don't let the traditionalists hear you. They're going to think that we might have borrowed this from other cultures rather than deceiving have the mysteries. Maybe you can excise this from the sin so I don't offend too many people and have to go somewhere else. In Hittite and Assyrian culture, what they did was they had the Lord, and the Lord said to the underlings, be loyal to me. Pledge your armies to me. Pay your tribute to me. Follow my rules, and I will protect you and guard you. But if you are not loyal to me, if you go off with someone else, I'll kill you. And that's kind of what the Bible is all about. The Ten Commandments follows the same pattern. It starts out saying, I am the Lord, which is what they do in these vassal relationships. Then it talks about their power. I'm the one who created heaven and earth. Then it lays down the laws, and then it says what's going to happen if you violate them. But what does that mean? I suggest this, that the Shema, the Ahavta, and the Ten Commandments indicate this for all time, not just Bronze Age, for all time, that we Jews believe that we should love all people and all things. We believe in the Shema. We believe, even in the face of all the diversity and all the conflict and all the fighting and all the differences that we seem to have, that we're all one. Yes, our DNA came from a single source. It means that our goal is unity. And the Ten Commandments doesn't mean that we should have to follow those particular commandments. I don't know about you, but I don't think we're in danger of making a graven image. But it means we should have a moral code. The Jews always have a moral code, and we're always one step ahead of the rest, and we share that with others. Sadly, today, many of us are AWOL. We've abandoned our mission. That's all right, but the Christians do it. There's a lot more of that. The Muslims can take care of their countries. Our job is done. We brought the Torah, now we're done. Oh, my friends. We need the Jewish people more than ever to be a light to the nations. I'm not suggesting that the other religions can't do it. But I defy you to find one who has our indomitable spirit, our faith in humanity, our belief that we can overcome all, our belief in our faith in oneness and kindness and compassion and mercy, and yes, in reason. Irrational religion is the most dangerous thing. And so I'm going to ask you right now, I'm going to ask you to come up with your modern day Ten Commandments. These are for every generation. Is there anyone here who would like to offer? You don't have to offer all 10. I'll ask you if you can offer 1 or 2 commandments for today. I'll start you off. All right, how's this? Thou shalt protect the planet, our only source of life. How's that for one of the commandments? How about thou shalt protect the human and non-human inhabitants of the planet? Who else would like to share one of them? No, somebody has an idea. Anybody? Any volunteers? Yes, go ahead.
How about thou shalt consider the natural resources of the planet that give us fuel to live and work the way we do with modern life.
Very good. Thou shalt conserve the resources and not squander them. Don't act in a foolish manner. Yes. Anybody else? Good. Anybody else? All right. In that case, I will proceed. Go ahead.
Thou shalt stop killing each other.
That's good. I like that. Thou shalt stop killing each other. That's good. And how about thou shalt stop killing each other over religion? Can you think of a greater sacrilege than to kill another human being in the name of religion or in the name of God? Thank you very much. Yes.
Thou shalt be kind and respectful of the fellow human being.
Beautiful. Thou shalt be kind to mankind. Thou shalt be respectful of other people. And I'll add this, even if they belong to a different political party. How about that one? That's very good. All right. I'm going to share with you a few more. Did you? Anybody else? Yes.
It says at least 5 times in the Torah, the Bible, that
we have this made in God's image. I think that one of the commandments should be that we should be godly. And it says in the Torah, we were made in God's image. Being godly to me means that we should read the Torah, study it, and learn all the good that it has written in it, and follow those commandments.
Very good.
Word of that.
Very, very good. Thank you so much. I would say read them and follow them in a rational way. Some of the commandments are a little bit dicey, a little scary. But yes, we should study the Torah and learn from it and use our mind to understand it well. Thank you. Guess what Ron said? Ron is very good pedigree. He was a believer of the Reconstruction of Synagogue. He's saying that you should be holy because we're created in a holy image. That's actually from the Torah, of course, but it didn't make it to the top 10, but it probably should have. Tihiyu kadoshim ki ani kadosh. Right? You shall be holy because I am holy. The corollary to believing that every one of us is created in my image is that we should recognize the divinity, this creative power in us, the goodness in us. We should recognize that instead of engaging in self-imposed identity theft by thinking that we're less or that we're not worthy. We believe we're created in divine image. I mean, anybody else? Yes.
Thou shalt allow all
Thou shalt allow all abortions. I think you're right. I think we need that, especially here in Florida. I think that's good. I like it. Or how about thou shalt allow everyone to have bodily autonomy, even women. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Yes. That's very good. That's not in the Ten Commandments. They didn't really recognize that so much. In fact, in biblical days, they did not have freedom of speech. If you were to challenge the rules in an inappropriate manner, you'd be stoned to death. That's something new. That's why we don't cling to the Ten Commandments as the final word. We cling to it as our effort, our first step towards morality. Thou shalt allow people to speak their mind without intimidation, without retaliation. So even if they say that they're going to follow their conscience and not enforce certain laws, they shouldn't be dismissed. Even if they say that they don't agree with a policy against vaccination, they shouldn't have their home invaded by law enforcement. People should be able to speak their mind without intimidation, even if it's not popular, unless, and this we have in the United States Civil Code, unless you're threatening to do harm to someone, or you're engaging in hate speech, or you're a pathological liar, or a defamer. We do place limits on it, but thank you very much. That's a good one. Anybody else? Okay. I appreciate your contributions. Carol's walking over. That means she's received the cue that I'm going on too long, or that everybody here went on too long, but I like the participation. But I'm going to continue, nevertheless, with my list, and then we shall conclude. No religion has the right to impose its views on others by force, by law, or in any other way. Thou shalt be open-minded and willing to change your beliefs with new evidence. When the world tries to make you conform, be an individual. When it tells you to sit down, stand up. And when it tells you to follow the crowd, follow the evidence. Thou shalt stand in awe and wonder at the creative power that gave rise to the cosmos, to each of us, and bring out the greatest version of yourself that you can. And finally, my last one, if you ever rise to the highest office of the land, don't bring home top secret information here. Let it remain where it belongs. It's not yours to possess. Thank you very much for
Thank
the
you.
10 Commandments. It's a pleasure. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And Rabbi, help the needy and hungry and helpless.
What's that?
Thou shalt help the needy and hungry and helpless.
Of course, that shall help the oppressed, the needy, and the hungry. Thank you very much. It's
Amen.
a very essential one. It's all over the Torah. It also didn't make it to the top 10, but you're right, it definitely should have. Okay, now we continue with our service, unless somebody else has something controversial to say to get me into trouble. Then we're going to continue with. Oh, wait, I got to find the song.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Tyrants have oppressed us, exiled us from our land, but the purpose fate has blessed us, and power we still stand.
Do not surrender. The battle is not lost. We are truth's defender. The darkness of the God. Can you feel the love tonight? This is who we are. It gives us strength as spiritual wanderers, guided by a star. Can you feel the love tonight on this day of rest? Our mission is to serve humanity with purpose. We've been blessed.
We'll never be defeated. We'll never disappear. Because we are still needed. Not in heaven, but down here. We survived persecution, crusades and pogroms too. For justice, we are peaceful warriors. It's our role as a Jew. And
Can you feel the love tonight as we share Shabbat? Whether we're a king or vagabond, give thanks for our love. Can you feel the love tonight on this day of rest? Spreading peace and love throughout the world is our sacred quest. Spreading peace and love throughout the world is our sacred quest.
thank you. You all fall by now to join the choir. We're now going to continue with L'Dor Va-Dor. Not going to continue with the Aleinu. Aleinu means rise, but it's optional. If you feel so inclined, please rise. Otherwise, you can stay inclined.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, lateh gedula yotze bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo zamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama. שלא שם כקנו כהם וגור עלינו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We continue now with the Kaddish. Please remain standing as we read the Kaddish. We mention the names of those recently stolen from us: Jonah Blundage, Bernard Bettner, Marvin Friedman, Francis Hyman, Olivia Duke John, a great friend of the animals, which is why I'm glad to see a dog here. She would be happy to see the canine here with us celebrating Shabbat, and Linda Kruskin. We also mention the names of those, the anniversary of whose departure occurs these days: Shirley Bain, Olaf Beck, Jonathan Cohen, Gertrude Dager, Samuel Diamond, Rose Greenberg, Sylvia Greenberg, Carolyn Brodsky, Arthur Herman, Edgar Kearley, Hyman Levin, David Mallon, Jerry Millman, Eugene Mulrad, Robert Beeman, Lee Osofsky, Jacob Wanskier, Saul Pomerantz, Samuel Robbins, Maurice Rosenberg, Arnold Rosenstein, Buddy Rossman, Rose Savage, Joy Salas, Dora Sheston, Nina Tron, Shereen Williams, and Mary Wilson, and Ruth L. Wood. Any other names that you'd like to recall at this time? Okay, in that case, yes, I see it. Yes.
Gerald Simon.
Thank you. Yes.
Jenny Smith.
Thank you.
I saw another
much.
hand back there.
And someone else, yes. Thank you, and thanks, Jim, for helping me. I never would have seen them. Thank you very much. We recall all of them, and let us hope that we can help all of our loved ones be a blessing by channeling what was good and lovely in their lives through it.
Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you. 7:00 Tuesday night, you'll hear Parson to Parson. I'll be on with another renegade minister, Chris Alton. Always fun and interesting. Next Shabbat will be right here at the beautiful Mariposa with some new songs that you probably never heard before, but mostly the oldies but goodies. We also have high holiday tickets available. You are welcome to join us at Santa Lucia's High School, or you can join us on the internet. We'd love to have you and all of your friends join us as well. There's always updates on our ongoing litigation against our Governor DeSantis. If you want to find out about it, go onto our website or like mine, RabbiBarrySilver.com, and you'll also hear some of the latest and greatest hits. Some of my abortion parodies that are always fun to share with your friends and family. Now I'd like to share with you the priestly benediction. May you be blessed and preserved with good health. You want to sing this? Go ahead. Y protege con buena salud.
Yair Natna Velacha v'kuneka.
Shine upon you always.
Yahir Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you be lifted up by the power and strength of our ancestors to withstand so many ordeals, so we could live our lives with courage and with audacity.
V'yasem lecha shalom.
L'Dor Va-Dor, and may we be a source of peace and reconciliation in this troubled world. Amen.
Amen.
And now it looks like we have
Beautiful.
the Moses.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Now we have Sena.
Tena, 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 habanodurena chayalim bemoshava. Tena, 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 habanodurena chayalim bemoshava. Tena, tena, habanodurena chayalim bemoshava. Tena, tena, habanodurena chayalim bemoshava. Tena, 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 tena. Tena, 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 habanodurena chayalim bemoshava. Tena, 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 habanodurena chayalim bemoshava.
Come on, everybody. Thank you, Cantor Garrett, for your awesome music. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Shabbat shalom.
And some wine. Shabbat shalom.